Hey Newcastle, do you ever get sore shoulders? Do you have problems lifting your hands up above your head? Or do you have problems reaching around behind you? If you do, then I want you to make sure you keep watching this video to help you understand why that occurs. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips that you can do at home to try and help to reduce that shoulder soreness. And of course, if these tips aren't helping you, you can always schedule an appointment to have a further evaluation on this. So our posture is crucial for our shoulder health. And to demonstrate this, if you were to take and just raise your arms up like this, you can see how far you can go. In fact, you should be able to go all the way up to your ears like that. But if I slouch and now try to raise it, this is as far as I can go. And the reason that I can't continue to bring it up above my head is because the shoulder joint itself is now starting to jam on the AC joint and is not allowing it to fully clear and go up. And if you're lifting and jamming that over and over and over again, then that's going to start to cause problems in your shoulders. So there's a couple of things that we can do. One is I'm going to give you a posture exercise, and two, I'm going to give you a stretch. So one of the problems when people have chronic rounding of the shoulders, and it's really common because people are on phones or on computers and different things like that. When they have chronic rounding of the shoulders, it starts to make the pec muscle start to shorten, okay? So muscles are kind of like rubber bands, and they'll attach on one part of a bone and then another part of the bone. So the pec muscle attaches here and then wraps around the chest like this and attaches back up there. And that can start to shorten as we got that chronic rounding of the shoulders. So what we want to do is stretch this out. And when you're doing stretches, it's important to do the stretch so that we don't go too hard. And so I like to tell people that you want to stretch, like if there's 0 and there's no stretch and there's 10 and it's painful and you feel like you're going to rip the muscle off the bone, well, that's obviously too far. So we want to come down and stretch somewhere around this sort of 5, 6, 7 mark. All right. So first, let's get this set up. So we want to get into a 90-degree position like this, and then you want to come up against a wall. And if you got an angle like a corner of a wall, you can do it. You can do it like that. That's always good. And then you're going to turn away from this. You're going to turn away like so. And now I'm starting to feel a stretch in my pec. Now, if I want to increase the stretch, and I've turned as far as I can start to lean in, and that's going to stretch it further. Now we bring the stretch up to about a 5. And once we reach that, that's fine. And we stay in that position. We'll probably stay in this position for 60 to 90 seconds. And once it starts to come down to maybe like a 3, then we can go a little further with it. And I bring it back up to a 5. And when it comes back down to a 3, go further with it. And you keep playing with that over the length of the stretch for the 60 to 90 seconds. And you can repeat this stretch, 1, 2, 3 times a day, as much as you want. All right. Now in the next video, I'm going to start to talk about your posture and give you the wall exercise, which is a really simple exercise that you can do multiple times a day to reprogram your brain to help understand where your body is supposed to be in space. Okay, so now we're on the second exercise, and this is what I call the wall exercise. And what I love about this is as long as you've got a flat surface that you can stand up against, you can do this anywhere, and it only takes 5 to 10 seconds. Now the key with this is to make sure you're doing it multiple times per day to get correction. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put the back of our heels up against the wall. Then we want our bum touching. Then we want the head touching. And when we do this, it's common for people to bring their head up in the air like this. We want to keep the chin down. Then we want to put our hands up against the wall like so, keeping the shoulders down nice and relaxed. And then relax your arms beside here. If you're ever feeling your shoulders coming forward, you know that you're rounding forwards, and that is going to be putting tension on the shoulders like we've been talking about. And so we always want to have this position here. And then you step away from here and you keep this posture as long as you can. And then just check it every single hour, going back up against the wall, spending that 5 or 10 seconds. So these 2 tips here help to keep your shoulders nice and healthy so you can keep that normal range of motion in your shoulders. If you're having problems, please feel free to schedule a consultation.